Yo, what it is, Chief? What it is, homie? Yeah. I managed to procure the phone number, the cell phone number today of one Mr. Mike the McTown Man. Yes, it was secretly emailed to me by a very secret source. I hate utilizing the word secretly and then secret in the same sentence. I feel like a lazy rap star, I guess. That's what I feel like right now. Yeah. But I did procure that phone number, and I shot off a text, and I don't like utilizing the word shot. That makes me think of violent images in my schizophrenic mind and all that jazz. And no response to my text. So then I was like, all right, I'm going to call this MF because it ain't his correct number and all that. So I actually called him on the phone, and he answered, and yeah, we had a delightful conversation, him and I. Two arch nemesises, two arch rivals, opposite sides of the MGTOW regime, had a delightful conversation. Yeah, that's what took place and transpired. We talked about his walking ability and how that's going and the improvements that have been made as of recently. We talked about he was a wee bit insecure about his video that he published on this platform today. He was not sure if it was up to his past historical standards and all that. Yeah. And I don't think he knew it was me, because at the end of that phone call, it lasted roughly 5-6 minutes. He asked me about a live stream and what kind of application on the phone or wherever I wanted to utilize for that stream to take place on. And we had never had a conversation on the phone or otherwise ever in our whole lives. So, yeah. I mean, we've spoken through content creation in video form, but never where we can hear each other in real time. So, yeah. Yeah, and then afterwards, I sent him a voicemail. Rather, before that, a text. No response. A voicemail. No response. Confessing to who I was, and yeah, no response. So he didn't even mention me in a bulletin post. His most recent bulletin post is about his lack of views on his latest videos. So yeah. I just want to reach out to Mike the MGTOW Man. I do own a percentage of that leg that you're walking on with the screws and the tools and the nuts and the bolts inside of it right now that are cold in this autumn air. That it's freezing inside of you and rendering you somewhat bedbound. Yeah. I own those nuts and those bolts, my friend. Bought and paid for by my GoFundMe donation. Yeah. So every time you walk on that leg earlier than anybody assumed you would, you got me, this guy, to thank for that. And I would like a thank you. It's the least you can do, you know? How about a bulletin post confessing to our newly forged friendship? Yes, two men on opposite sides of the tracks coming together, forming a bond, sharing camaraderie with each other. Yeah, building a rapport with one another. We developed a friendship, might I say that? Hell of a nice guy, this MGTOW man. Yeah, I do highly recommend you call him. And I won't give out his phone number. I don't know if that's appropriate, but if you want to email me, I might be able to release those digits. You can find me on mchenrycruiser@gmail.com. Yeah. Get back to me, Mike. I just sent you a text telling you that I was bored as fuck, and I am, and let's have a conversation, because I miss you, my friend. Till next time, adios. Boom.